going to have a crack. He is, you know. Oh, I say! Brilliant! That is schoolboy's own stuff. Oh, I bet even he can't believe it.
Good morning and good morning to you. Welcome to this Good Morning Tottenham away video. It has been a while, guys. I must apologise. And for those of you who are still with me, thank you for sticking by, man. Quite a lot has been happening, but one I don't want to really bore you with. But as you can see by the thumbnail, I have to say it's between HOJBJERG and Bryan Gil that's going to be starting tomorrow. Of course, Romero will be taking his place in the starting lineup tomorrow for sure. Will it be alongside Emerson? Will it be alongside Davis? If I have to take a guess, my feeling is that Davis will play alongside Romero. Romero's going to play on the right sided of the centre backs, and of course Davis will play on the left side. That's the logic I'm going by. Let me know your feelings. Who would you actually have starting with Romero? Would it be Davis or would it be Emerson? Equally have done well, just as well as each other. So I just think because perhaps Davis is obviously that left-sided, left-footed player and is more of a natural at centre back, but take nothing away from what Emerson's been doing in a position that's not really his, and he's served well in a time of need. Guys, what I wanted to speak to you about is more so moving forward, further up the pitch, which is the thumbnail gives it away. HOJBJERG and Gil. I'm going to go for Gil, and I'll tell you why. I know. There's going to be many of you here that are just going to completely... Why? Why would you say that? Because of not being totally happy with Bryan Gil. In parts, I personally have been, because I think his movement and getting into the situations and positions, and he did play a massive part in the goal, one of the goals that we scored against Man City. But obviously there's other parts of it, of an element of the game, and I said it myself, he looks like a kid playing in a man's game against Man City. So physically he's not quite up to par. But why not HOJBJERG in that case? Because Postecoglou himself said he's done really well. He was excellent, using his words, when he came on. And I have to say I agree. I thought he was brilliant. But this is why I will go with the other choice more so. God, something. Sorry, I got a cold, guys. Here's why I would go more for Bryan Gil. Bryan Gil will play on the left, okay? So that leaves Bissouma and Lo Celso in those positions there. If we play HOJBJERG, that means Lo Celso's going to go further up. It means Kulusevski, who was my favourite player against Man City, would have to go out on the right-hand side with Brennan Johnson on the left-hand side. For me, it's pivotal, absolute pivotal, that both Lo Celso and Kulusevski play in the middle. I thought they were both excellent. I would not move those two from the middle of a park. Played Brennan Johnson where I thought he did well on the right hand side. That means that leaves only one spot, and that's for Bissouma. Now the question perhaps may be, Bissouma's performance wasn't the greatest. Is it maybe he should be the one to sit out and play HOJBJERG in there? I'll probably stick it out with Bissouma. He's not going to make that mistake that he did against Man City, which led to one of their goals, and ultimately it wasn't his best performance. Can he do really two bad performances back to back? I don't know. But for this game here, I would definitely stick it out and play Bissouma in that role. But for me, like I said a minute ago, Lo Celso and Kulusevski playing in that middle, and that number 8 for Lo Celso and number 10 for Kulusevski is pivotal. To have HOJBJERG in there means Lo Celso moving up a position where Kulusevski would normally play, and that means Kulusevski playing on the right hand side, which a lot of us have been saying we should be having him playing in number 10. That's the reason that leaves the left hand side space. So if we leave everything as is, Bryan Gil will play on the left hand side with everyone else in their positions that we played against Man City. That's why I will be pushing more so for Bryan Gil than perhaps HOJBJERG. Of course, with Richarlison's back, which was an absolute novelty for me, because I wasn't aware that he would be back for this game. I was expecting Richarlison back in the new year. So to see him come on as a sub, perhaps he, maybe not in this game coming up, but the following one, it could be a case of Richarlison takes his place on the left-hand side again. But again, he's been missing a little while, so it would acquire time and build up the minutes to get back into the side from the start. So that's where my thinking of playing Bryan Gil, at least at home, he's not gonna come, you know, have the difficulties that perhaps he had against Man City, because listen, who doesn't struggle against Kyle Walker physically and strength and pace? Who doesn't struggle against him? So why would Bryan Gil be any different? But perhaps again against West Ham, he might get more joy. At home in front of our fans, he will get more support. So I would stick it out. Nothing again taken away from HOJBJERG, because I thought he was excellent. But for the reasons I'm stating, which is why I would give Bryan Gil certainly another go from the start on the left-hand side, and most importantly, above all, keeping everyone, particularly the two boys in the middle, Celso and Kulusevski, where I want them to play through the middle until we have further options further down the line when we have Maddison back, etc, etc. That's where my thinking is. But most importantly now, I want to know your thinking. I would love to hear and read your messages below this video. Want to see where you guys are at, and who would you choose, and you've heard my logic behind it all. I want to hear your logic behind your decision making and why you would go perhaps with the same option or with a different option. Let me know your thoughts and your logic behind your decision in the comments below. Make sure to smash a like to the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And guys, again, for those of you who support the channel, smash the likes every day to the videos that we upload, and of course continue to subscribe. Many of you continue to do so, even I haven't done much content. Continue to subscribe, not only to supporting me but all the other boys in Tottenham away. And we await for the big game, the London derby, their FA Cup final. But also, it must say, it is absolute pivotal. It's an important game for us too, and one that we need to go back to winning ways. We need the 3 points, and it has to start as of tomorrow. Until then, smash a like, subscribe, and as always, forever always, it's come on you Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.